everybody. How's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know I've got a lot in the info box. I have a lot in the feed. My glasses are doing stuff. Let me, well, you see who I am below. Hi, my name is Christine Marguerite, Love Evolve Energy. Hopefully you can hear me. I've got a lot going on in the background here. Let me see if I can alter that just a bit. Yeah, that creates a little bit less chaos. Anyway, here we are for our regular weekly, for this week, afternoon session. Hey, Monique, how's it going, lady? We're just showing up here and we're going to meditate. So all of this week, we're backing away from the more sophisticated energy work stuff that I usually do, whether I'm doing energy readings or divination readings based on energy or channeling or mediumship or some such, and we're really focusing on foundations, working on the foundations of meditation, which is the one of the many, you may choose many, one of the building blocks of any intuitive practice. And I would say a building block of your life if you choose to move in a more spiritual direction. So that's what we're doing this week, focusing on a particular theme. The theme is something that we will be focusing all day on all day on Saturday. So that's a home retreat. I believe the link is above. Multiple places, depending on the platform on which you're finding me. So you can check that out. The theme is equanimity, or peacefulness, peace of heart. And I recently found some things that I'll be moving through the next couple of days, little quips and things like that, just to encourage us on our practice. And one is, I found written down, peace of heart perfumes the mind. Cultivating a peaceful heart begins to perfume the mind. It's true, and vice versa. So what we're doing at 1 p.m. Eastern, which would be 11 a.m. Pacific, and you can do the math wherever you are on the planet. So what we're doing at this in this time frame for the next hour is practice. We're doing some meditation practice, some practicum. So I'll talk a little bit about the theme, and then we'll talk a little bit about the technique, and then we're going to jump in and do it. And then we're going to talk about it after as well. So all of that in an hour's time seems quite doable to me, if you ask me. And I did start a little bit late. So I'm going to wait maybe 4 or 5 more minutes to see if other people show up. Although, honestly, the platform from which I'm broadcasting, I can see the feed on all the different platforms that it broadcasts to, but I don't always see every single comment. So that is what it is. So I may or may not see some comments. If there's something you really need me to pay attention to, please let me know. Please let me know, and repeat it, rewrite it in the feed. So that's who I am, and that's what we're doing today. So what I'm going to do next, as I'm waiting for people to maybe show up or not, is actually take a look at the feed and see who's around. Well, there's a whole bunch of me trying to put all of the information in here, and apparently it doesn't like that much information in one post. So it's that much information, but it has to chop it up to make 2 or 3 different posts. I don't know. Okay. Monique, I saw. Okay. Hi, beautiful woman. Want to check in with you sometime. If you ever want to connect, just let me know, Mama. Gay is a dear spiritual friend of mine who is going through transitions like we all are. And she visited me last summer here in Cape Cod. And it was part business, part play. She drove my beloved Fluffy to me from down south, and then hung out for a week. I believe it was a week. Maybe it was less. I don't know. We had a really good time and did lots of fun Cape Cod-y things, and that was nice. Yeah, me too, baby. Me too. Let's go someplace fun. So the retreat, I'll say a few more things before we begin. And when I say begin, I'm going to talk a tiny bit about the theme, a little bit about technique, and then boom, we're just going to do it. We're practicing our meditation based in equanimity. We're practicing that for 30 minutes today. We're going to be doing a 30-minute practice session. So that is up a little bit from yesterday and the day before and the day before that. We're creeping up. As the days move forward, we'll add on time, and it'll be longer and longer. Just to prepare you in case you are interested in doing the day-long retreat on Saturday. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but you'll get the sense of it. So, let me dive in. It seems like you can all hear me. That's good. And you can all see me. That's good. So, the equanimous state of being is a benevolent neutral. I like that. I want to write that down. Benevolent neutral. Benevolent neutral state of being. Ideally, one practices this benevolent neutral state of being during a sort of calm period of your life, so that when the waves begin to thrash and you're thrust into chaos, you already have a sense of the skill of equanimity and how to move into that a little bit. But be life as it may, and coming to this practice today, as you are, I don't know where you're at, we'll work with what we have. So the practice we're working on today, as I mentioned yesterday, has a little bit more structural feel to it. As we move into the actual practicum, I will guide a little bit at the beginning, give you a chunk of time in the middle in which to practice the technique, the skill, to build the muscle of equanimity. And then I'll do a little bit of guiding on the way out. That's how it's gonna flow. So the technique is like this. As per usual, we'll relax and get comfy, and we'll spend some moments paying attention to the feels, the feel in and the feel out, the body and the breath. Those are, the body and the breath are feel out sensation. The feel in sensation is your emotional state, whatever it is. Be fully aware that as you gently and kindly rest your awareness on your feels, the feels out, the feels in, they flicker and they fluctuate and they shift and they change. Cool. Then we'll move on from the emotional feels, from awareness of your heart, body, your emotional body, we'll move on to awareness of your mental body, your mind state. That's comprised of mental images and mental sounds. They could be still or they could be moving. Pictures, colors, shapes, symbols, movies, stories, or auditory sounds, tones, a song, inner dialogue, remembered dialogue, uh, any of that. Your mind state, the mind stuff, is made up of these activities. We'll be distinguishing awareness itself as something distinct from the activity of the mind. And like the feels, it's highly unlikely, although it could arise in this way, that they will be fluctuating. They will flicker in and out. Things will arise and things will pass. From awareness of mind, we will shift a bit into awareness itself. And that's mostly a turning around of your gaze. In a sense, if we're going to talk about sight, we're looking at things. And then we flip it on its head and we turn around and say, well, what is doing the seeing? What is doing the hearing? What is receiving the sensation of heart, the sensation of body? What is this awareness? And we'll just begin to touch in on that. That's the flow. That's the structural part. The layer that you will be doing as you're resting in the physical, the emotional, the mental, and awareness itself is to begin to get a sense of the quality of that awareness and the awareness making contact with those arisings. So I want to just take a moment here and mention that everything I'm talking about, the feel in, the feel out, the sights, the sounds, all of that is addressed in its own retreat setting that you can now purchase elements from, selections from that retreat, which I did last year. That's a sense gate retreat, meditation on and honing your sense gates for clarity within your intuitive practice, et cetera, et cetera. That was the theme of that. And so although it suggested that you have some awareness and clarity and can clarify distinctions between what's arising in your present moment, is that a sound or is that a visual or is it both? Et cetera, et cetera. We spent an entire day, or was it a weekend? I think maybe it was a weekend. I think it was a weekend retreat because there's a lot to do. We spent the entire time honing that. So while that's helpful, not completely necessary. You don't have to have all of that going into an equanimity practice, the day-long retreat we're doing on Saturday, the 21st, coming up. So what we're adding on to that, the qualities, we are going to pay attention to 3 general ways of categorizing a sensation. And after we practice this, you'll see how this ties into what we've been doing the last 2 days. Is today Tuesday? Yeah, so Sunday and Monday. You will notice whether the sense gate activation is pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Is it pleasant? Is it unpleasant? Or is it neutral? Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. I breathe. That's a feel out. Breathe. Is that sensation of breath pleasant? And you don't have to be accurate. You can you you could not really know. That would be another option. Is it unpleasant? Or is it neither? Is it sort of neutral? So we'll be using that awareness of sensation, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, through each step in our strategy. It'll make more sense as we go in, and we'll cultivate it a little bit. So it's almost 25 past the hour. So I'm going to wait just a minute, and what I'll have everybody do, unless there's any questions, is to begin to settle in. Find a comfortable sitting position, horizontal position, that's up to you. I would encourage stillness, but if you're walking, that's fine too. Perhaps you're listening on your device while you're taking a walk, that's fine. Begin to hunker down, take a couple of sips of water, unbutton your pants, unzip your whatever, relax a bit, roll it around your neck, and do whatever you got to do just to wiggle into a comfortable sitting position. The only thing that I would recommend within whatever position you decide is to have a long spine, or the opportunity for a long, straightish spine to be available to you. So if you're sitting, you don't want to hunch, and you don't want to like twist or lean forward or do some other thing with your spine, just a long, neutral spine. At the beginning, like we've been doing the last couple of days, at the beginning of our sit, I'll do a bell, and at the end of our sit, some more bell. So, is everybody ready? Let's begin. And just relax. Begin by just intentionally relaxing. Intentional relaxation. Beginning to settle in a little bit more. Hunker down, and at the same time, lift up. Lift up. Relax and extend. Let's begin with breathing and feeling. Breathe and feel physical sensation. No right, no wrong. It just is whatever is true for you. Feeling body and feeling breath. You can allow the awareness to just drift through the body, noticing physical sensation. Or you might do a body scan. Just breathe and feel. Breathe and feel. Breathe and feel. And then notice if it's easier to pay attention to your breath, or is it easier to pay attention to other physical sensation? And whichever is easiest, for whatever reason, simply rest your awareness there just for a minute or two. Easy awareness. And as you rest your awareness on your body or on your breath, notice if the sensations are pleasant or unpleasant or neutral and or some combination. Staying with body or breath and noticing pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Shifting your awareness now to the other. If you were witnessing the breath, witness now physical sensation other than the breath. If you are witnessing body sensation, shift your awareness exclusively now to the breath. And again, noticing with curiosity, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. It's all good. Notice. Let the intellect soften. Let the intellect and deciding mind fade away, and simply bear witness to the now moment, the truth of breath and or body in the now moment. Shifting awareness now to emotions that arise, your emotional body, the feel in, sensations arising that you can clearly identify as emotional in nature. Watch the dance of the heart. You may notice some feelings are pleasant, some are unpleasant, some are neutral. Shifting again, moving quickly. Let your awareness rest on sound, hearing external sound, hearing internal sound and internal talk. There will be 10,000 distractions. That's okay. Just come back to hearing, mental, body, sound. And again, as you rest here, paying attention to hearing, internal and external hearing. Notice pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. And now shifting again from hearing to internal images. Maybe there's a blank screen, white or black. Maybe there are flashes of color or light. Simply resting here with your awareness, paying attention to pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. In the see space, internal seeing. Simply noticing. Shifting again, just for a moment or two. Can you turn your awareness in towards itself? Just for a moment or two. What is awareness itself? What is hearing? What is that which is seeing? That which is feeling? And letting that go. Taking a deep breath. Gentle sigh. 2 more times like that. Exhale, let go, surrender, let go. And from here, you will rest in silence for many, many minutes, simply noticing that which arises, noticing if it's pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Notice if it's sight, if it's hearing, if it's feeling. Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. On your own, relax. Notice. paying attention. It's okay. It's okay if distractions happen. Just bring them back to the sense gates. Bring them back to the present moment. What's true? Is it a feel? Is it a hear? Is it a see? Is it pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? Resting in that awareness. And if it feels easy, now begin to shift your awareness towards awareness, that which is perceiving. What is feeling? What is seeing? What is that that is hearing? When you turn to look for awareness itself, are you looking for a visual? Are you looking for something auditory? Are you looking for a physical or emotional sensation? Release the looking, let go, and rest. And now, relax, dropping all effort. Just sit with eyes closed. Just sit and breathe. Beginning to come out of your practice. Send a ripple of movement through your spine. Take a fuller breath. Move your limbs, your toes and your fingers. Move your face, letting your hands come to your face. And coming back, letting your eyes open. And drawing your palms together. May our practice today be of benefit for all beings everywhere. And aho. Okay, everybody coming back. You can stay as calm and deep as you like. Begin to return to your social aspect of self, the central vein of your polyvagal nerve center. Thank you for your practice today. Thank you for sitting with me. How did it go? Is anybody still with me? I'll be up here for a few more minutes, so if you have any questions or comments, feel free. Thank you for joining me. Tomorrow, we'll be doing this again. We'll be doing it a little bit longer and therefore going a little bit deeper. Ah! Yay, Monique. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Congratulations, an entire 30-minute sit. So I'll ask some more questions tomorrow after we sit. I will not do as much explaining since so much of the explaining is today, although there may be different people, so I'll do some explaining tomorrow. I found for me that most of the time when we were in the silent sit, my awareness rested on my physical, my feel out for the majority of the time. And that's what it was for me today. It was a mixture of pleasant and unpleasant and neutral. And some, it was just a big mix of things. And I also found there were layers and levels of pleasant feel and unpleasant feel was at different layers and levels. So I discovered that today. And that was my practice today. That's what it looked like for me. So yay. If anybody wants to share about what their practice was like today, feel free. It can be fun. If you want feedback, yay. There's other things we could add on to this. Sometimes you can add on the tag, I don't know, which can be true if you don't have a lot of experience with, your lived reality. If there's some trauma or if there's some numbness for some other reason, big T trauma, small T trauma, there might be harder to not just discern what's going on in terms of, is that something I'm hearing or is that something I'm feeling? You might not be able to be that specific if you've got other things going on, and or you may not know what it is, where it is, or if it's even neutral. You may not know. It may be a big fat I don't know. And that's cool too. You know why? Because you noticed something. The light of awareness rested on something. And so what you might call that, if it showed up, you might call it numbness. And then you could note, is that pleasant or unpleasant, neutral, or maybe you don't even know? Onward and onward. That's an addendum. That's the kind of thing that can come up. It's also true that you can be so antsy and movie and distracted, and all kinds of things are going on that you may be like a piece of popcorn on a hot plate. A Mexican jumping bean just jumping around. And that may be your truth. And so in that case, is that pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? Can you be aware of it without judging it, without making it a wrong thing? It's just what's happening. So we might do some experiments on that later on. I believe what I would like to include, maybe I'll do this Thursday. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. Maybe I'll do some of this Thursday. There are phrases that can come along with certain kinds of practices when you're using equanimity as a cultivation practice, a calm, peaceful, kind, neutral heart. There are phrases that can go along with that can be helpful. So I think maybe Thursday, we'll touch on that. We may or may not. We may not get to that until the retreat on Saturday. We'll see how it goes. All right, everybody, that's what I have for you today. I want to say a big, fat thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. If you would, sit again today. Have another practice session if that feels good to you. You might be able to squeeze that in before bed, maybe not. I don't know. But in any case, I will see you. Let me see if I have a goodbye. Yeah, I do. I'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Mwah. Thank you for taking care of yourself through meditation. Bye.